Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio on this? I hope. Thanks. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jim. Um, this is Marilyn, and it's the afternoon edition of Welcome to My World on the 30th of November. This is the last day of November, and it is a Monday. I'll take a minute to kind of look. I personally have found today to be this is not my favorite kind of day to trade. It's a little tougher to it's a little tougher for me to find the kind of trades that I like. So therefore, I only took one, I think, early this morning on TF, and then I got distracted. I had to take care of something else on this crude oil, but crude did put in a nice, and I know I've brought this up before, but when this bus driver goes down and tests a certain level, a major street like this, it's the third one that is usually the charm. And so right here, this was about almost about 10 o'clock, went down and tested this green ice, went back up, came back down and tested it again, went back up, and on the third time's charm, down it went. And so there was some of this that was very tradable. But this is one of those where you want to make sure that it's going to go on down before you uh, take a short right here, because what it's been doing, of course, is going back up. It will rarely do that four times. So it's, but it can happen. So I think some of that just comes with experience in watching and finding these patterns so that till they just kind of jump right out at you. The 30-minute chart was worth noticing. When a 30-minute chart puts up these long wicks like this, and it just sat here, just sat and sat and sat. This is the best time when you see this kind of thing is just go do something else or find a different market to trade, because all this is going to do is make your life miserable. Other markets had maybe better and easier trades. And let's see, we have the VIX is holding over 16. It's trading 16.20 right now. The indices today, the strongest indices of the four indices in the U.S. market seem to be the NQ. I don't typically trade the NQ, but it should have given, I know there's a lot of people in this room that do, and that should have given you some nice trades today. If we had gold traders, I know Daryl likes to trade gold with Nadex spreads. And today was certainly a nice day for that, because it was just nothing but an all-day trend up. Not very fast, not very much, but it sure didn't try to go down. It was just up and up and up all day. The US dollar is in a very tight range, as is the euro. Tomorrow morning, starting about 3 o'clock in the morning, I think, our time. Yeah, right about, well, some of it is coming out at 2. But between 2 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning is a lot of economic news that will affect the euro, the Swiss franc, and the British pound sterling. So if you like to trade those kinds of things around those news events, Daryl does a great job on the Apex website of putting trades in there so you can take advantage of those. And they're usually very specific trades. So I would go to that tab on the Apex website and check that out. Other than that, oh, I did want to show you on this, on crude oil, this I-zone chart, the sharpshooter, this is really, really a great thing. I love this chart for if you are hesitant about taking a trade and you're just not sure, by all means, if you're not using this to trade with, use it at least for an indicator, because this does a great job of keeping you out of trades. When you have these yellow, or if your chart is orange, whatever color it is, but it's to make it very visual that this is chopped, and you are pretty much assured of getting chopped all around. And I think that's about all. Brent did have a nice trend this morning, but for the last 2 hours, it also has been in a very tight little hovering thing. So, yes, and Kelly makes a good point in here that there are 6 news articles that will be tweeted with instructions on the strategy and how to trade these news events. So, and there will be a promo as promised, and it will be posted pretty soon, so we can all take a look at that, and I'll let you know when that does come out. Thanksgiving kind of gets everybody behind, I guess, with stuff. And tomorrow morning, after all this economic news in Europe, be sure you take notice of whether that is good news or bad news. And one of the fastest ways to just get a snapshot of that is off of the FDAX. 10 o'clock, 9:45, 10 is some U.S. news, ISM manufacturing and construction, and final PMI manufacturing. Those may make the markets move, but not a heck of a lot, the U.S. markets. The U.S. markets will follow whatever the DAX is doing tomorrow morning. The other thing I wanted to let you know is tomorrow is the first day of the last month of the year, and it is a trading day. So if you are doing your yearly, your annual plan, and your monthly plan down to your weekly plan, get ready for your December trading goals, what it is you wish to accomplish, and all the stuff that has to do with your business plan. December is going to be a very big month in these markets. These money managers are moving huge amounts of money around. And so it's going out of this and going into that, and on and on it goes. But this, at the end of the year, as they start to come into the end of the year, there is a lot of money that gets moved, coupled with the Feds are showing every indication they've postponed this interest rate hike that they've been talking about for 3 years, pretty much to about as far as they can postpone it. So I think most are expecting a small increase in the interest rates in December. So that's going to cause things to move in addition to all this other stuff. In addition to that, the OPEC meeting is on Friday in Vienna. So by the time most of us are looking at our crude oil charts on Friday morning, that news will have been absorbed into Brent and into the European markets. So lots and lots of things. Oh yes, and then in addition to that, the third Friday of December, which I'm not sure what that date is. We will keep reminding ourselves of when that is. The third Friday is the 18th. The 18th of December is also triple witching. And there is a lot of activity in all of the markets just across the board because that is the equity options expiration. There are futures options expiration. There are futures contracts. And in December, we're going to be rolling our indices and currency contracts. So there'll be a lot to do. My suggestion is that you get everything written down on one sheet so you can have it right in front of you, or one page in your notebook, or however it is you track things. You're going to have a lot of things to check off your list this month. So let's see. I thought I had some questions in here. I think we've answered all of them. I hope we have. If not, anytime you ask a question in the chat room here and you don't get an answer, don't hesitate to ask it again because we're all kind of busy, and sometimes those things, there's a lot of chat and it just rolls on by. So don't hesitate to ask a second or a third time. It's not that we don't want to answer you, it's that we just didn't see the question. And poor dear Lori is at home with no power and ice all over everything. So she will be back when she gets the power to power her computer. And I hope that's very, very soon. But she says there's no way of knowing when that will happen. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and maybe her power will come on later this afternoon. That's about it for this afternoon. So this has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll come back about 8:30 in the morning. We'll see what happens. See you then. Thanks.